Welcome to the Frugal Rolls March 2025 State of Streaming Update. Today we will be discussing 5 key trends shaping the streaming landscape: skinny bundles, more ads, ESPN flagship update, sports spending, and the continued rise of fast services. All of them show the new reality of streaming, that it has moved into its next stage of maturation. Let's dive into our first topic, skinny bundles.
Skinny bundles are emerging as the next step in the maturation of streaming, with consumers increasingly unhappy about paying $85 or more for live TV streaming services. Skinny bundles present an opportunity for better value.
A year ago, Deloitte's Digital Media Trends report revealed that more than 1/3 of subscribers felt they weren't getting good value for their streaming subscriptions. This sentiment is echoed by recent findings in Tubi's The Stream report that found viewers are spending, on average, $129 per month on streaming TV subscriptions, a 7.5% increase year over year.
Fubo is planning to launch a new skinny bundle, tentatively called Sports and Broadcasting, priced between $50 and $60 a month, just in time for the NFL season. This bundle will offer network-owned local TV stations from ABC, CBS, Fox, and NBC, as well as national sports-inclusive networks like ESPN, Fox Sports 1, the Golf Channel, and CBS Sports Network. Fubo has already signed agreements with Fox Corporation and the Walt Disney Company to offer their channels through the new package. The company is also anticipating deals with Comcast and Paramount to include their respective networks.
DirecTV has rolled out several new skinny bundles, all priced under $50. These include the My Entertainment for $35, My News for $40, and Mi Español for $35. Meanwhile, My Sports, DirecTV's standalone sports-focused bundle, launched for $70 per month. However, with its lack of key channels like CBS and its high price tag, it faces an uphill battle.
Comcast also jumped into the mix with its sports and news TV bundle for Xfinity Internet customers. Priced at $70 per month, includes Peacock Premium, major news and sports channels, and some fast content. However, it lacks key Turner networks and select ESPN channels.
The introduction of skinny bundles is a response to the growing frustration among consumers regarding the high costs and complexity of traditional streaming services. But a significant challenge for these bundles is whether they truly provide enough value for consumers.
Streaming began as a promise to get the content you want, with the ability to cancel when you want for significantly less than the cost of cable or satellite. Regular and consistent price hikes have driven the cost higher towards what cable used to be.
56% of respondents in the Tubi report say they monitor streaming services carefully so as not to overspend, and 76% of Gen Z viewers say they have or would end their streaming subscriptions over increased price. Worse yet, it's becoming increasingly confusing to identify where to watch the show or sporting event you want to watch. Cable TV is dying, and streaming isn't aggregated to simplify things for consumers. Amazon, Apple, and YouTube all hold the potential to be aggregators, but no one is fully there yet.
Skinny bundles are a step in the right direction, but they're not where we want them to be yet. Now let's move on to our second topic. More ads are coming to streaming.
Ads continue to be a source of frustration for many streamers. And in the new grown-up era of streaming, ads have become a staple. However, according to a new Whirl report, ad loads for connected TV are now averaging around 9 minutes per hour, compared to 15 minutes per hour for linear TV.
More than 80% of U.S. households now have at least one connected device, and streaming accounts for 41% of total TV viewing time.
The Tubi survey we referenced earlier found that 79% of consumers feel that if they're paying for a streaming service, they expect no ads at all. But 81% say that watching ads is a fair trade-off for access to free content on streaming.
Ad revenue for streaming services is also growing, with U.S. CTV ad spending projected to reach $32.57 billion in 2025. This trend is evident in Roku's recent test of auto-playing video ads before reaching the home screen, which got it into hot water with users. The increasing prevalence of ads in streaming services is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it allows platforms to offer free or lower-cost content to viewers. On the other hand, it can lead to viewer frustration and dissatisfaction.
Streaming platforms are continuously experimenting with new ways to integrate ads without disrupting the viewing experience. The backlash from Roku users highlights the delicate balance that streaming services must strike between monetization and user satisfaction. Now let's move on to another topic of interest to streamers, the latest with ESPN's new direct-to-consumer streaming app, which for now is being referred to as Flagship.
Expected to be priced between $25 and $30 a month, it is set to launch in late summer or early fall, right before the college football and NFL seasons, and will house all of ESPN's content, making it a pivotal moment for the sports giant.
The app will include all of ESPN's live games, a personal AI-built sports center, documentaries, e-commerce options, alternative broadcasts, and a lot more. The move aims to attract younger viewers who don't subscribe to cable or satellite packages. In a recent newsletter from CNBC's media and sports reporter Alex Sherman, it was noted that ESPN could be setting the stage for some brand confusion that could backfire for the sports giant.
Sherman argues that ESPN will need to clearly explain to customers what they're getting in the more expensive service. Subscribers will have the option to bundle Flagship with Disney Plus and Hulu, and ESPN Plus will likely be marketed as a tier of the more expensive platform.
Another piece of news relevant to this topic is the fact that ESPN is in talks to purchase NFL media assets, including NFL Network, Red Zone, NFL.com, and its fantasy football operations for upwards of $2 billion. This acquisition would deepen ESPN's relationship with the NFL and enhance its upcoming Flagship app.
Fox is also planning to launch its own DTC streaming app by the beginning of the football season, targeting cord cutters and cord nevers. This app will include all of Fox's offerings, such as Fox News, business networks, and sports. Fox CEO Lachlan Murdoch has emphasized that the new app is not intended to cannibalize its linear TV audience, but rather to capture those who have cut the cord or never subscribed to cable.
The launch of these new streaming apps from ESPN and Fox represents a significant shift in the sports streaming landscape. By offering direct-to-consumer options, these companies are positioning themselves to compete with other streaming giants and to attract a new generation of viewers. However, the success of these apps will depend on their ability to clearly communicate their value propositions and avoid confusing potential subscribers. Now let's move on to our fourth item, which also has to do with sports.
Streaming services are increasingly investing in sports content, with streamers expected to spend $12.5 billion on sports this year. This investment is driven by the recognition that live sports are a major draw for viewers and can help differentiate streaming platforms in a crowded market.
Peacock has added its 4 RSNs to its platform, available as an add-on for Peacock Premium or Premium Plus subscribers. These RSNs include NBC Sports Boston, NBC Sports Philadelphia, NBC Sports California, and NBC Sports Bay Area. And the cost for these add-ons range from $14.95 to $24.95 per month, depending on the region. This move reflects the growing trend of on-demand apps expanding into live sports, providing viewers with more options to access their favorite sports content. Additionally, Max has moved its Bleacher Report sports add-on to ad-free only plans, ensuring subscribers can continue to enjoy live sports content. The increasing investment in sports content by streaming services highlights the importance of live sports in attracting and retaining subscribers. As more platforms compete for viewers' attention, the ability to offer exclusive sports content can be a key differentiator. This trend is likely to continue as streaming services seek to capitalize on the popularity of live sports.
And that's not great news for us as consumers, since sports are getting more splintered as both live and traditionally on-demand streaming apps rush to put more live sports on their platforms. They know it's the one type of content in highest demand and are shelling out big money for rights to air sports.
And the further splintering of sports content across platforms is another unfortunate reality of this new, more mature age of the streaming space. That cost, unfortunately, will be passed on to subscribers in the form of higher monthly rates and continued confusion over where to watch your favorite team's games. Now, let's move on to our final item, the flock to fast services. The rise in prices may be why more streamers are seeking out free content, leading to a significant uptick in the adoption of free ad-supported streaming TV or FAST services. According to a recent report from Whirl, 47% of U.S. households now engage weekly with fast services. And a report from Hub Research found that 2/3 of Americans would rather watch ads than pay more to avoid them. All of that spells success for fast services, which continue to gain ground on paid ones as people look for ways to save money.
Roku channel hit 90 million streaming households in January of 2025, up from 85.5 million in October 2024. Tubi has surpassed 97 million active monthly users with over 10 billion streaming hours in 2024. These platforms offer totally free, extensive content libraries, including some sports and live local news, making them attractive options for cost-conscious viewers.
Yeah, Tubi claims to have the world's largest content collection at over 275,000 movies and TV episodes and more than 300 originals. Add in the hundreds of channels that both it and Roku channel offer, and some are even beginning to describe Tubi as a rival to Netflix. Now, Netflix still has way more subscribers, more than 300 million, but fast services are starting to close the gap. Additionally, the growing adoption of connected TV devices has made it easier for viewers to access fast services. With more households owning smart TVs and streaming devices, the barriers to entry for fast platforms have been reduced. For people opting for cheaper ad-supported plans, it only makes sense to start using a fast service. If you're going to have ads, why not use a fast platform like Tubi, Pluto, or Roku? It's just another sign that the streaming landscape has moved into its next stage of maturation. Skinny bundles, increased ad loads, and the further splintering of sports are all indicators of that new reality.
As we move forward, it will be interesting to see how these changes impact the way we consume content. We'll keep watching what develops and reporting on it here so you can get the most value for your streaming dollars.
What is one change you'd like to see streaming services make around sports? What would you be willing to pay for a solid skinny bundle? Let us know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can get all our latest news and reviews when they drop. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.